everyone. This is Tara Melvin with the Signature CEO Conference, and I am coming to you once again with Speaker Insights, where I'm bringing our illustrious speakers into your digital space. I love that digital space because this is right for the person that we have on here. So you can gain a little insight into who they are and why you should be at the Signature CEO Conference. And today I have Miss Myrna Daramy, 5-time speaker at the Signature CEO Conference. She is that invaluable to this conference that we have to have her back every single year. And so we're going to gain a little insight into her. Hopefully, she'll share some wisdom or a little tidbit about who she is, something that we don't know already. And then we're going to talk about her topic. So welcome, Miss Myrna. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Tara. How are you?
I'm doing lovely. It's always a pleasure to have you at the Signature CEO Conference.
It is always a pleasure to attend. It's also a great experience that I literally look forward to every year. So this is, to say 5 times, it feels good because I'm like, yay, I'm an OG.
You're a legend. You're a legend at the Signature CEO Conference. You're a legend. You're a legend. And you know my rule. I do not like return speakers. So
I know, which means that much more. Exactly.
Yes. So before we get into what you're going to be talking about at the conference, tell people who Myrna Daramy really is.
So Myrna Daramy is the founder of Myrna & Co., which is a tech translation for the modern business coaching and education form. It basically, in a nutshell, is a platform where I utilize to educate businesses, small business owners, and I pretty much focus a lot on women entrepreneurs and small business owners, but all business owners, just how to leverage and better utilize technology in this space that we're in order to market their businesses today.
And is there anything fun that people should know about you?
Fun? Okay, so yes. I am a fun fact, multi-passionate entrepreneur / I have a lot of interests. Like, people don't know I used to be, well, some people do know this at this point because I love fitness, but I used to be like a fitness enthusiast, fitness instructor who used to go hard at the gym and love it. And to this point now where now my classes consist of Zumba because I love to dance. That's the other sidebar to this, or anything group fitness I do love. So.
Awesome. And you need to follow her because she will enlighten you with some of her dance video moves and stuff. So yes, I do love seeing those whenever you post them. You haven't posted any lately, so you need to
I know. I need to level up on my postings.
Yeah. So you're coming to the Signature CEO Conference and you're talking about digital brand inclusivity and compliance. What does that mean?
I know, that's like a weighted term, right?
That's a mouthful.
It's a mouthful. So it's actually another one of my coin phrases, just like digital media optimization. But long story short of it is, in this day and age, especially after the pandemic and the craziness that we have had last year, where the internet and technology had to play a role in our businesses in order to sustain, in order to just keep some kind of sense of community and customer connection. Because of that, what has turned into what used to be something that was only expected of federal government bodies and like essential type businesses like hospitals in terms of being accessible to all, has now kind of bled into being something that even small business owners need to be accountable for. And so when I say inclusivity, I'm not just speaking of the racial scenario of having, different demographics from an aesthetic of, people of color type of inclusivity. I'm speaking of the 20% demographic that has any type of impairment. So visually impaired, hearing impaired, cognitive ability impaired. And so these people, believe it or not, have always had to deal with either not being able to hear, not being able to see people's websites, and they just kind of dealt with it. However, in the last 3 years alone, there has been an increase of litigations and lawsuits made towards small businesses now that are actually saying, we cannot access your website. So you need to become more inclusive and make it so that I can then also partake in whatever your services you're providing or however you're interacting or engaging with people on your website. So whether it's that they're clicking buy or they're clicking their contact form, you need to make it just as accessible for them as it is for people who don't necessarily have any of these impairments. So, inclusivity needs. And compliance is basically a term that in the tech world, it actually has a full term, ADA compliance. There are rules and regulations that have been created over the years. It's not like this is something new. They have just revamped these guidelines to make it so that it's called ADA compliance, which is basically and I forget the acronym right now. It's like blowing my mind because I'm such the one with acronyms. But long story short, it's about disabilities. It's the American Disability Act is what it's basically referencing, and having compliance terms that can have your website accessible to them. So that's why we need to know these things. And that's why I feel like this is a great topic to really bring to the forefront, because not a lot of small business owners know anything about this yet. And I think it's going to be something that's going to take on momentum just because of the climate that we're in, and knowing the importance of how the web and technology has been playing such a role in everyone's businesses to date right now.
And that's the question I was going to ask you is like, how many small business owners, are practicing this right now on their digital landscape?
Not very many at all. Not very. Some of them, and I mean, some of the bigger ones, like the creative entrepreneurs who have like the big online businesses, may have gotten notification from someone saying, your videos, we can't really hear them because we're, hearing impaired or something like that. So you start to see, if you can even notice now on Instagram or social media platforms, they're providing us the tools so that we can actually create closed captions on different posts, like IGTV. You can actually infuse with Instagram, they have a default that you can put in that's closed caption. So you're starting to see more and more people become aware of it, but it's not mainstream yet at all.
Business owner, if we ignore this now, are we putting our brand in jeopardy or, okay?
Yes. So just so you know, last year alone, I'll even back it up, 2018 to 2020, there has been an increase of over 300% of lawsuits and letters sent to people to say, your website is not accessible, and they've actually had to either A, settle out of court, or hopefully work out something with the person. Before, like I said, a lot of big companies would get these types of litigation statements all the time, but now it's just increased just because of the climate that we're in. I even had a colleague get literally served papers for $30,000 to make their website accessible, or the fact that it wasn't, and they were trying to sue them for it. So it's something that will become a very big potential threat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the steps to get this corrected. Is this a long process, short process? Let's not give them too much, because one, we want people to come to the conference,
right,
purchase a ticket and learn all this. But then two, we also want them to call you later after the conference so that you can help them. So just give us a little snippet of as far as how this process works.
So how this process works. Okay, so the guidelines that I was talking about, they have been formatted and updated recently, within the last year. So there's literally a checklist that I actually have provided to a lot of my clients that literally goes through all the things that you need to pretty much look out for. The dilemma is you have options. You can either approach some of them and check them off. So that means you would probably have to go and talk to your website designer or whoever you have in your team to kind of get some of these things put in place. Or, and I don't want to give too much, but during the conference, I have an actual solution that handles it all for you. So awesome. I will be promoting and, letting them know about that during the conference.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to have digital brand inclusivity and compliance with your website, you need to purchase your ticket and be at the Signature CEO conference, because it sounds like Myrna has the secret sauce that she's going to give away to us to make this happen so that we can be in compliance.
100%. Yep.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited. I can't wait to hear all about this. Myrna, why are you returning to the Signature CEO conference, or why should people purchase a ticket to be there?
So, wow, that's a weighted question, but I have a lot of comment on that. One, why am I returning to the Signature CEO conference? Two reasons. The first reason is because you, as the host and the curator of this event, you've been so amazing at just, rounding the troops, getting us coordinated, and providing such amazing, interesting expertise into the speaker panel that it seems like every year it's different. Every year you're actually coming up with the relevant things that people need to know about their businesses. So that's why I've been coming back, because it's not the same rhythm and roll person that you hear speaking the same thing every single year. Like, you literally bring in new, fresh content, and that's one thing. The other thing I would say is that it's great to actually go to a conference that it's not all inspiration. There's a very high amount of education. So you leave this conference not necessarily not feeling inspired, because there's definitely inspiration within this conference, but the bulk of the content is a lot of the need to know. Like, you leave with so many aha light bulb moments that it's always something that I think is needed, because in this space now where there's like so many events to choose from, it's great to have one that you're going to leave for not just the value you paid for it, but like 20 times nuggets after that. So that's why I love it.
Awesome. Well, I definitely appreciate you. I love you. You are my girl. Yes. And thank you so much for all of your support throughout the years. Is there anything new going on with Myrna & Co. that people should know about?
So yeah, the one thing that I'm going to be talking about is I partnered with a company that has provided the solution, and that's what I'm so excited about. Because I very rarely have partnered with companies in the past. And this was one that I felt, after doing all the due diligence and seeing the amazing work that they've done, I'm more than on board. So I'm excited about that. And so that's something new that's definitely coming down the pipe this year for me.
Awesome. And last but not least, how can people find you on your digital landscape?
My digital landscape, very cohesive. If you look up Myrna Daramy, you will find me. The new place I guess people are looking at is Clubhouse. You can find me. I actually just have my name, Myrna, which is awesome. So you can find me there as well.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are eager to see you this year at the Signature CEO Conference 2021, where our theme is Reimagine. And from all that we've been through for the past year, we're ready to reimagine. We're ready to refocus, regroup, and get our businesses back on track. And we have the speakers, we have the powerhouses here to help you to do that. So we're going to have all the information running down on the bottom of the screen. Purchase your tickets today, and we want to see you there. Myrna, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Tara.
Awesome. See you guys at the Signature CEO Conference.